Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. Now, the last couple of episodes, I was talking about how I felt like crap, and I still feel like crap. I'll probably be a little wrecked for a little while. You know, you get these stomach viruses, and sometimes they last a lot longer than you think they're going to last. You know, it's very similar to when you get food poisoning. By the way, this is episode number 405. You get a little sicker than you thought you were going to get. Like if you get dehydrated because of a stomach virus or because of food poisoning, well, I have a stomach virus, not food poisoning, but they're very similar so far as they affect how much you eat, or if you want to eat. They make you dehydrated at really weird intervals, and sometimes you lose electrolytes and things of that nature. I don't want to get gross, but I think you know how that happens, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay? And the thing about it is it's really annoying because you look in the mirror and you don't look much different. I mean, you could tell that you're a little dehydrated if you look in the mirror, if you really pay that much attention to yourself like that. But you know how you feel. Right? And it's a weird thing. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I just got a desk delivered to the house. Okay? And the last desk that was delivered to the house, I picked it up, walked up the steps, walked into the room where the desk is going to be, opened the box, pulled out the tools, put it together, whoop-de-whoop, bloop, bloop, scoop-a-doop-de-boop. And it looks incredible, if I do say so myself. Right? This time is the second desk for another room, but this one is a heavier desk. But under normal circumstances, I know what my physical level of strength is, and I know that I would have been able to. Now, this was heavier than the other desks. I might not have been able to just walk it all the way up the steps, but I definitely could have walked it onto the porch, walked it onto the first level, maybe put it down for a second and went like this. Phew, that thing's heavy, man. Let me get this upstairs real quick. Picked it up, chugged it up the steps, got to the top of the steps, put it down. Man, this thing is heavy. And it doesn't matter. I only got to move it to the room over there. Let me pick it up. Yeah. And down. And once you get it into the room, you cut open the box. It doesn't matter anymore because you're just dealing with it in pieces, right? But because of the way I'm feeling right now, even though my voice is back to normal for the most part, I said, look, because the box came out in the beginning of me feeling like crap. So just getting it off the porch and behind the door, I would have had an easier time trying to get a 6'5" guy who did not want to come into the house. If you understand what I'm saying. I mean, it was like, that thing is still right next to the front door, leaning there. And I have to, if I go to wash clothes or something like that, and at this level of, and as bad as I feel right now, that's actually a chore. Normally washing clothes isn't a chore. You pick up the clothes, you walk into the basement, you go ahead, okay, open up the washer, and you take the clothes, and you go pop, pop, flip, dab a dop de boop, you throw them in the thing, skip a dop de bop, you take out the detergent, floop de floop de floop, you press the button, scoop a boop deep doop, done. Not a big deal. You ain't even thinking about it. I might be on my phone. I might be doing Twitter. I might be doing something else. It doesn't matter. No effort. But now, when you don't have the energy, man, oh my goodness, you got to sit there and decide what you want to do. And that box is literally sitting at the top of the steps by the front door. And I'm telling you right now, it's almost as if the box is mocking me every time I walk past it. You know, the box is literally it's like when you watch a basketball game and you're a basketball player and you're in the opposing stadium and there's always those people sitting right underneath the basket when you're shooting free throws and they're starting to say things about your mother and your wife, right? It's like, let me take this. He's about to take his first foul shot. Your mother's a hooker. Huh? Whoa, he made it, but he was visibly upset by something. All right, sorry, I'm not going to let this guy get to me. Yo, man, if you shoot your shot, I'm going to shoot my shot at your wife, huh? He made both shots, but apparently somebody said something about his mama and his wife. Because that's what it feels like. Every time I look at the box, it's almost as if the box is looking at me like, yeah, you better go upstairs, punk. because I know what you're not going to do. You ain't moving me, punk. You ain't even strong enough. I'm at an angle right now, which means you literally have to step over the bottom half of me to go up and down the steps. And I can tell by the fact that you have to lean against the banister to step over the bottom half of me that you're still weak, punk. I bet if you had 50%, you'd give it a try, but you're walking by me and you're not even thinking about trying to move me upstairs. Punk. Because that's what it feels like every time I see that box. It reminds me of how weak I still am. That's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that the body isn't as efficient as I think it should be. It's efficient in some ways, right? You got your involuntary stuff, your breathing, your heartbeat, all of that crap. But I'm talking about efficient when it comes to being sick. Let me give you what I'm talking about. If you buy panels for your house, say you buy solar panels for your house, right? And you combine that with a battery pack on the inside of your house, you get energy from the sun, and it comes from the sun and it goes to the battery panel in the house. And you can choose to use the energy from those panels in your house when you need to. Like, say for the sake of argument, it's a regular day, right? And you don't use a lot of energy in the house. Maybe nobody's there, or maybe you're not running a lot of things. But then you have a lot of energy in that battery that you don't have to use because you don't necessarily need it. And it'll either stay there, or maybe it'll even go back to the electric company, and you'll actually make some money. Either your bill will go down to almost nothing, or they'll pay you for the energy you generated. But it's your choice what to do with the energy. Right? It's saved. It's saved. It's yours, and it's saved for a rainy day. And in the case of solar panels, literally a rainy day. But when it comes to being ill, when it comes to you being sick, the body is not as efficient. Everybody brag, people go, your immune system is incredible. It does this and that, and and when viruses come in, it's going to do this, that, and the white blood cells, and the mucus in your body actually traps debris to keep it from the lungs, and it traps the viruses, and there's things inside of the mucus that actually attack the viruses and the bacteria and the flubs that get that pop, the pap, tap, and all of that crap, and that's all true. But why does it have to make us feel bad while it's doing it? Right? Like this stomach virus that I have right now. Why the heck do I have to have gastrointestinal distress? I'm not trying to be gross, okay? That's why I'm saying gastrointestinal distress and not explosive diarrhea and mucus from the buttocks. I probably should have just stuck with gastrointestinal distress instead of saying explosive diarrhea and mucus from the buttocks. Why did I just say it twice? Moving on. But the thing is, you become really dehydrated. You don't feel good. Right? You're worn down, and you're like me right now, running around at 25% strength. How come you can't be like that, like your house if you have solar panels? You're running around on a regular basis. You're feeling good. You are feeling strong. You have more energy than you need. How come there's not a part of your body where you could store all of that energy goodness for a rainy day, right? Even if you can't have access to all of it, can't you just save it where you can get some of it? Like when that desk came, right? I'm sick as a dog, but what about I went into my energy resources and I went, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of this energy to get this desk upstairs, and you somehow do some kind of body crap, and your body goes, and all of a sudden you can pick up that crap and take it upstairs and put it down, and then it shuts itself back off. You go, okay, that's all I needed the energy for. And it just shuts down. That makes more sense, right? Right? But no, you can't. Well, I gotta have a fever. Is there any way where you could just apply that heat directly to the bacteria or directly to the viruses? Why you gotta make me hot on the outside to have me sweating and crap? What the hell's the deal with that? Right? Maybe I don't want to wash this t-shirt. Maybe I just want to pull it off and throw it on the back of the chair and put it back on again, but I can't do that. Why? 'Cause you made me sweat through the damn thing. Damn you, body. Look, I'm just saying it would be more efficient if it worked out that way. If you're sick, maybe your body could let's be honest. When you're working on something, like say you're living in a house with your relatives, right? You love your family, you love your spouse, you love your kids. But if you got some stuff you got to take care of for yourself, maybe you brought home some work or something like that, or maybe you want to do something that doesn't necessarily directly affect the kids, right? Maybe you got some work, right? And you don't stop working at what you brought home, walk into the room where your kids are and knock over their puzzles, go into it where your wife is working on some stuff and erase her crap in the computer and then go back to doing your stuff. No, all of the stuff you have to do, you keep it to yourself. You don't have to go and wreck everybody else's day, do you? Dad, why'd you knock off my puzzles? Because I'm having a hard time here with this work from my job, and I figured since you're in the same house with me, I'd F up your puzzles. You consider yourself lucky. Your brother was outside riding his bike, and I stuck a broomstick in the handle and tripped his butt, and he fell down and started crying, talking about, why did you do it, Dad? And I said, I'm not the only one having a bad day, punk, right? And that's why Mom is mad at me. I went upstairs. She was working on something for her presentation, and I erased that crap. I actually made a copy of it. I'm going to give it to her about 3 hours after she's upset thinking she made a mistake. I'm going to give her, I'm say, hey, honey, I was just happened to be by your computer. Looked like you were about to make a mistake, and I made a copy of your work. Here it is. Why didn't you give it to me earlier? I don't know. You see, I'm not going to say anything bad to her because I plan on getting it on with her later. I mean, that's none of your business, kids. Moving on. So what I'm saying is, the immune system. Is there any way immune system, I'm talking to you, immune system, is there any way you could kill this stomach virus in such a way that it doesn't affect me? Can you just kill the virus? Flush it out? Huh? Right? I'm just starting to be able to eat again. Is there any way you could take whatever that crap is that the virus is doing, throw it into the poop and let me just poop it out at a regular, healthy interval, not at random intervals like in the middle of the night when I'm going, oh crap, this passing of gas is not going to be dry and I have to go upstairs as quickly as possible on 25% energy, barely making it, damn you. Look, we've all been sick, and I think you would agree with me that it's important and that it would be much, much better if the body... Listen, let me talk to you, God, okay? All right. I know that technically people, plants, animals, we evolve over time, but how come viruses get to mutate all of a sudden really quickly? The virus, you get the virus, the pandemic, and all of a sudden, a few months later, the damn thing evolves into something else, and all of a sudden, we got to start all over again. What's more important to you? Us, according to the book according to the Bible, us made in your image. Thus, we should be closer to you than stinking viruses, right? So don't you think maybe we should be able to evolve wonderful new adaptations quickly and not viruses? They don't even do anything good. Okay? Well, some of them do, I guess, but you know what I'm talking about. You know how much I would like to evolve beyond dating people that I know were bad for me. It took me decades to figure it out. It takes most people decades to figure it out. How about one person that treats us like crap, and then all of a sudden there's something inside of us that locks in those traits and makes us automatically avoid people with those traits, but it doesn't happen, does it? No. Your whole 20s, all of a sudden you're going, okay, she cheated on everyone else, but she's pretty and look at that delicious buttocks and those delicious chest yummies. I know she's a horrible human being, but I really want to have lots of sex with her. I have an erection and she's going to let me take this and put it up into that for long periods of time regularly. And that feels great. 3 months later, okay, apparently she actually allowed about 4 other people with erections to go up in there for long periods of time. And I'm pretty sure it felt great for them too. But right now it don't feel great for me because they're feeling great with someone I thought was only feeling great with me. Great. Well, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to let that happen again 3 months later. Hey, this person has exactly the same traits, even more overtly horrible than the last person. But she also has the same delicious buttocks and chest yummies and perfect face. And I have this thing down here that I want to put up in her stuff down there. Hey, she let me put my thing down there, deep up into her stuff down there. And this feels awesome. This is great, fantastic that she's allowing other people to put their stuff down there up into her stuff. Oh, damn. Oh, well, that's okay. I'll never let that happen again. 5 straight times. Damn. Right? So why don't we get an opportunity to evolve into better versions of ourselves quickly? Right? I'm 52 years old and I can pick up on those traits immediately, and I avoid those people. At least that's what I'm saying on the podcast. F y'all, don't judge me. Okay. Okay. There was this one lady about 3 months ago. And she has really bad traits, but once again, beautiful chest yummies and the delicious buttocks. And she let me put my stuff in her stuff for long periods of time. I would sneak over to where she is and put my stuff with her stuff and do stuff. And it was great. Granted, as a 52-year-old, it's a little bit different because I knew what was going on. I knew what type of person she was going to be. I knew to be ridiculously protective of myself. And I mean, none of that happened. I just made that last little thing I just said was just definitely a joke for the podcast because I learned my lesson a long time ago. F y'all, don't judge me. So what I'm saying, folks, is don't you just wish that we could just evolve to a better version of ourselves? We could heal ourselves very, very quickly. We could just have things be much, much better automatically and not have to go through the crap we go through now. I know I do. I would love to feel better than I feel right now. I would love to have enough energy to take the trash out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But fortunately for me, laying down on my back with the microphone balanced above my face, I have just enough energy to do this episode of the podcast. And I'm glad you were here for it. I will see you on this podcast next Monday because I will be here on Mondays, and hopefully you will be here with me on Mondays. And don't forget, as you did last week, to check out the other podcast that I do called the S. Anthony Thomas Show. Both of these shows are on Stitcher, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, and Spotify, all of that crap. Any place you listen to podcasts, I'm there, baby. Okay? So if you like this podcast, and you do, make sure you rate and review, make sure you spread the word and tell people about the program, and make sure if you listen to the second podcast called The S. Anthony Thomas Show, make sure you rate and review that podcast as well and tell people about that podcast as well. That podcast is on Wednesdays and Fridays, and this podcast, the one you're listening to right now, as Anthony says, is on Mondays. Much love to all of you, and I will see you again soon. Take care.